Transistor radio, glowing magic transistor radio, magic transistor radio, glowing magic.
Hello YouTube and YouTubettes. Welcome to an album review. I have a very special formula that I use to make grades, so you will hear fractions and like a 5.73 or whatever. I won't give that away, but in this video I would like to review the Stereolab album Sound Dust. This was recorded in Soma Electronic Music Studio in Chicago, Illinois. The label was Duophonic Electra. I don't know if those are two different labels or what, but producer Jim O'Rourke and John McIntyre. Jim O'Rourke is a name that I recognize, so I tried to figure out where it was that I've heard his name. He was involved in a Beach Boys tribute album called Smiling Pets, and so that's probably what I knew his name mostly from, although he is involved with the Sonic Youth as well. I'm not sure when I originally heard of Stereolab. Probably one of the CDs I could sample at the record store back in the early 2000s, and I would often browse at stores looking for something interesting. And I like the way Stereolab uses synthesizers and things in their music. It's very interesting, and I know that I've seen them mentioned in certain documentaries that I've seen and things like that. I really do appreciate them. The cover of the album is pink with white letters and a black castle. There's no info on who designed it, but it's a nice cover, and I give it a 9 out of 10. Now on to the songs. The first song on the album is Black Ants in Sound Dust. This is a really cool instrumental, synthesized quite a bit, but with some xylophones, and I'm not sure what else is in there, but it's a really cool sound. It's high on the artistic side, and there's no lyrics, but there's some vocals in there that's just singing da-da-da, da-da-da on it, and this is really cool. I give it a 9.0 out of 10. The next song is Space Moth, and I forgot to mention that all the songs are written by Tim Gain and Lyatita Sadler. This has some excellent, incredibly beautiful and creative music that goes on for a while before you hear some vocals. The lyrics are in French, so it was hard for me to grade the lyrics, but I read a little bit about it. It's about the 1961 film Chronique d'une été, which I assume is French. Some lyrics taken directly from the film. So I just decided, since I can't read the lyrics, I like that idea. I gave it a 10 in poetry and a 7 in terms of accessible lyrics. But overall, I love this song. I give it a 9.0 out of 10. The next song is called Captain Easy Chord. This is one that I have on my favorite playlists. It's got a nice piano chord progression and everything, and some interesting lyrics. And this is a very solid song. I give it an 8.8 out of 10. The next song is called Baby Lulu, and it has some kind of eerie music at the beginning, and then it gets into, there's some really cool music in this song. My problem with this song, and maybe a lot of the other songs on this album, is the melody. It's kind of straining. It's not a melody that pulls me in, if that makes any sense, but it's got some nice backing vocals, though, that are pretty cool. And it's a very solid song, once again, and I give it an 8.2 out of 10. The next song is The Black Arts, and once again it has some brilliant music and arrangements and some interesting things artistically. The melody is a little bit better than a lot of the songs on this album. It's kind of catchy and perhaps one of the most accessible lyrics on the album. And but overall I give this an 8.4 out of 10. The next song is Hallucinex. I think I pronounced that right. This also has some interesting music. It's a little catchier than maybe some of the others, and I think that the melody is also very solid on this one as well. And overall, this song gets an 8.4 out of 10. The next song is called Double Rocker, and this is perhaps the most beautiful song on the album. It's got a nice melody, it's very artistic. I put perhaps the lowest grade on lyrical accessibility because it's in French, so I don't know what it means, but I like the way it sounds, so I give it a 10 in lyrical poetry. And I like the backing vocals and the echoes on the doo-doo-doots and things. So, but this is a very good song. I give it an 8.6 out of 10. The next song is Gus the Minor Bird, and I love the way the music starts. It's really cool and interesting, creative, and then it gets into something more jazz that's less to my taste, and also a melody that is not a great melody to me. It's a little strenuous. This is still a pretty good song. I give it an 8.2 out of 10. The next song is Not More Terrific Than Man. This again has a very good and interesting arrangements. The music grooves along. It doesn't really hit me like really hard. I mean, it's not great. It's good, but it doesn't pull me in. The melody is a little bit better, but not great. But overall, this is a really good song. The lyrics are very poetic. I give it an 8.0 out of 10. The next song is Nothing to Do with Me. The credit for this songwriting is also for Tim Gain and Sadler. I can't pronounce her first name, as well as Chris Morris, who was an English satirist, and so that's where they got the lyrics from. This is more of a commercial sounding or catchy sort of late 60s 70s style pop song, so it's not as interesting perhaps, but the arrangements are always interesting on these, that I think the song itself doesn't pull me in as much. But I give it an 8.4 out of 10. The next song is Suggestion Diabolique, or Diabolique. This is more of an artistic piece. I gave it a 10 in musical art and the lyrical poetry and the production. This one does lower in catchiness and lyrical accessibility, but once again, great music, great farting synthesizers, great arrangement. The melody I'm not a big fan of on this one, but it's one of those when I'm in the mood I can really get into it. But I give this one an 8.4 out of 10. The last song is Les Bonbons des Raisins. Forgive my French, because I can't pronounce it. This is a great song. It's actually got a nice melody. It's very artistic, got poetic lyrics, a great production, a nice hook. So it's great across the board, almost perfect, not quite. And I give this one a 9.6 out of 10. It's perhaps my favorite song on the album. The album flow is a 10 out of 10. It's very good production throughout, very similar style songs throughout, and nothing sticks out. So I give it a 10 out of 10 for the flow of songs. This is a very interesting group, and the style of music is quite interesting. It's like synthesizers, jazz, symphonic pop, some 60s and 70s style pop as well, and lyrics that are different, and I think they're English and French. I don't know where they're from originally, but very good stuff. So now I will pull out my handy dandy computer and calculate my formula. And this album gets an 8.64 out of 10. Thank you and have a wonderful day.